Welcome back. You're with us on Trading Hour, and we are talking all about space now because of the announcements that came in at the end of the cabinet meeting yesterday. The government has approved 100% FDI for the space sector in the policy just yesterday. To talk about how this could impact a lot of the players and the different companies that are involved in this sector, we have with us the management of Astra Micro. Atim Kabra, Director of Business Development and Strategy, is joining in. Mr. Kabra, good to have you on today. We thought we'll talk overall numbers, but then this news also came in last evening. And it ties in quite nicely with the decision that you have taken. I think there's a new subsidiary that you're incorporating called, I don't know if it's Astra Space. I don't know what the name is, but it's for the space part of your business. So just tell us, space right now is 6% of your revenue. What is the aim? What's the kind of scale-up you are planning, and how does the FDI bit help, if at all?
Thank you for having me here. You are bang on target. Space is a big business, and as you know, it's a very capital-intensive business with a significant technological edge which is required to play a critical part here. Astra this year is expecting about 10% of its business to be space, 15% approximately next year. So we are very much there. And you're right, we did incorporate a 100% subsidiary, Astra Space Technologies Limited, because this sector requires focus, and we intend to be an end-to-end player in this space. So that has been the focus within the company. As far as FDI is concerned, I think it's a very welcome space, very welcome step, because not only does it allow for high capital inflow coming in, it also gives a focus to the sector. And more importantly, it kind of bridges the time to market, which is required. And you're very well aware, space has opened up as a sector, and there's a lot of private participation which is happening. So technology absorption can get a big impetus out here.
Okay. You want to be an end-to-end player in space, you said. What is the kind of investment that you are looking to put in? Have you outlined any kind of money? And now that FDI is allowed, would you be keen to get in an investor?
Actually, Astra has already made a significant allocation towards the space sector. Astra has been in the space sector for quite some time. Okay, so there is a whole lot of activities which we are capable of. We are open for technology as such, but we really don't require capital infusion, but we'll be happy to look at technological partnerships with various entities which can help us bridge the time to market. So we intend building our own satellites. We will be partnering with folks on various payload capabilities. You are well aware that Astra has been a critical part of RESAT satellites and the communication payloads, etc. We supply a critical component out there. So from that perspective, we would be welcoming technology more than capital.
Okay, so that's interesting. So you wouldn't be quickly rushing to find maybe an equity partner in that subsidiary, right? You're looking at more of technology tie-ups. Got that, Mr. Kabra? Just help us understand how the margins vary, because the bulk of the difference, the business is still defense. Between defense and space, where are you able to garner higher margins? And as space scales up to 10% of revenue, what would the impact be at the EBITDA line?
Well, space is a profitable business, if at least without going into specifics, but at least as lucrative as defense, if I would say. And so as the revenue impact goes higher, you will see space contributing fairly significantly to the bottom line.
So you've shared a guidance.
Specific numbers out there, yeah.
You've shared a guidance of, I think, 860 to 890 crore of revenues for this year and 1,100 crore of revenues for next year, FY25. Please correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Kabra. Can you give us a breakup? How much will the contribution of defense be, exports, space, and what will be the margin outlook next year?
We are looking at, I think our guidance speaks about 16 to 18% on the PBT level. Defense is primarily it's defense, right? So within defense, we break it up into radars and other equipment, right? So electronic warfare will ramp up next year, slightly higher than the current year's proportion. Our export business has been decreasing, and exports, I mean, built to print part, which is not the most lucrative part of the business. That has been decreasing, and it's being replaced by the domestic business. So we are fairly confident that the margin trend, which you have seen on the positive trajectory, that should be maintained. 16 to 8% PBT guidance is there.
All right. Got that, Mr. Kabra. Thank you very much for this quick chat and for the perspective on the business that you have shared with us. That's Astra Microwave, talking about plans in the space sector where they're adding more. And of course, a continued movement in the defense space as well. Stocks flat for the time being. We'll take a quick break on that note, come back on the other side with more on the markets in just a bit.